Hello, I'm Bethany from Bethany Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. This is a 30-minute yoga basics class, appropriate for beginners, appropriate for people that have never tried yoga, or appropriate for people that just wish to have a little more gentle or slower paced class today. Some items you may wish to gather would be a blanket or a towel, a yoga strap. If you do not have a yoga strap, you can gather a scarf or a belt would be fine. And then 2 yoga blocks. If you do not have yoga blocks, you may wish to gather some large books. And let's begin. We'll begin in Shavasana today, which is a lying down pose. Just come to lying down on your mat. You can choose here as you settle in if you'd like your legs stretched out or if you'd like your knees bent. And just begin to take some nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose, connecting to your breathing pattern. In through your nose, out through your nose, unless your nose is stuffy. Allowing your belly to rise and fall with each breath. Notice your body as it settles into the mat, feeling the contact your body makes with the ground. Sink down into the ground. Let your feet fall out to the sides. Let your legs release, your hips and your torso, your shoulders and the back of your head. Just let it release down to the ground. Using your breath as a guide, it anchors you into stillness, into this present moment. Helps you to let go of anything that interferes with you being present, letting go of busy thoughts. Focus on the sensation of your breath as your belly rises and falls. As you take your breath, let the belly rise and let the breath travel up to the shoulders, pausing for a moment at the top of your inhale before you take your exhale. Next, inhale, rise arms overhead, taking a nice overall stretch. Reach with those fingers. You can even point your toes and reach with the toes. You can let your back lift up off of the mat. Sometimes that feels nice. And then slowly hug knees in towards your chest, so in towards the torso. From here, if you feel any pinching on those hip flexors on the front of your hips or your back feels uncomfortable, maybe widen the knees a little. And then wake up your feet. Do some pointing and flexing of the toes. If there's any popping or cracking, it's probably my toes. My toes are always a little popping and cracking when I do this. That's a good thing. You're opening space in those joints, moving that fluid around. Switch directions of your circles. Good. Then draw your knees up towards the ceiling. So just let them shine up a little bit up towards the ceiling. Hands to knees. Do little circles here, just waking up your hips. Couple more. You can go larger with the circles. That just might be a little bit more of a massage on your back. Switch directions of your circles. One more circle. Good. Then hug them back in. Gently rock from side to side. And then hugging knees back to center. You can choose here to rise to your seat by rocking forward and back like a little boat, tucking your core, or you can roll to one side and rock up to your seat. Coming into a seated pose. This is where we really like to use our blanket. So if you want to have that blanket rolled up, sit towards the front of the blanket. You'll notice here when you sit towards the front, those hips and the pelvis dips forward a little bit. And as that pelvis and hips dips down, your spine lengthens up. So you want to have a nice tall spine. Take a few breaths here, connecting to your breath in your seat. If cross-legged is not comfortable to you, feel free to come into butterfly pose, bringing the soles of your feet in front of you, and you can bring them a little farther away if you need a little more gentle. So finding your breath. With every pose, we want to connect with breath. Let the shoulders release away from your ears. One more breath. Good, then rise arms up, gaze up to fingers, reaching tall, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, release your arms down. One more, inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, release arms down. Last time. Inhale, rise arms up. Side bend to the left. Release the left arm down. Gently stretch your side out. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Make sure your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, rise arms up. Then exhale, release your arms down. Give your arms a little shake here. Good, and then removing that blanket, coming into tabletop on your mat. So on your hands and knees. You can use that blanket still under your knees if your knees are tender. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, gaze down, nice flat back. Toes can be curled, or you can have the tops of your feet flat. Inhale, let your belly soften down, gaze up. Cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round into cat pose, gazing back, round through the shoulders. Let your breath guide you as you go through your own cow-cat. Inhale as the belly softens down for cow. Exhale as you tuck and round to cat. 2 more. Link your breath with your movement. 1 more. Good, and then back to table. Reach your left arm out to the side at shoulder height. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring that arm between your right wrist and your right knee and let the left ear rest down. You can choose to put a block here underneath your left ear if that feels more comfortable. You can bring the right arm to the top of your mat for a little extra stretch, or you can take a bind, placing the left hand to the back of your left side of your hip. Or excuse me, be your right hand. Couple more breaths. And pressing out of the pose, back into table. Other side, bring the right arm out to the side at shoulder height. Exhale, thread the needle. Right ear rests down this time. Choose here if you'd like the left arm reaching up to the top of your mat, or if you'd like to take a bind. Hips are lifted high, connecting with breath. Nice stretch through the shoulders. Always maintain steady breath. We want to always connect to breath in each pose. 1 more breath. And bring that hand back underneath you. Press back into table. Let's go through a few more cow-cat breaths. Inhale for cow. Exhale, tuck and round to cat. Waking up your spine, your neck, your shoulders. 1 more. Then exhale, sink hips back, child's pose. You can draw knees wide if that feels better. Sink your forehead to the mat as you draw your hips to your heels, arms stretched overhead. You can choose to rest your forehead on a block if you need a little distance here from the mat. Nice full breaths. Notice your breath in this pose. Let go of anything that interferes with you being present here in this place. This is your pose to go to anytime you feel you need a rest in your yoga practice. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You tune in. If you need a rest, take child's pose. Inhale, rise up into table. Curl toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. Create an inverted V. And this is the first down dog of the practice. You're welcome to pedal it out a little bit. Alternate bending, right and left knee. Your heels do not have to touch the mat. However, let them melt towards the mat. So we're not holding the heels up. We're letting them release. Spread the fingers wide. There should be a little more focus on the pad of muscle between your thumb and pointer finger. Take slow footsteps to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Bending your knees as much as you would like here, especially in the first forward fold. If you have any issues with brittle bones, osteoporosis, I want your forward fold to be a halfway lift instead, which would be hands to shins and a nice flat back. If you don't have issues with brittle bones, soften down into the fold. Give your head a nod, yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw hands to shins. Create a number 7 with your body. Draw shoulder blades together. Gaze down. Slowly begin to walk the hands up your thighs to your hips and slowly rise up into mountain pose, hands by your sides. Nice tall mountain pose. Find the foundation through your feet. So spread those feet a little bit, lift those toes, place them back down, shoulders away from ears. Couple breaths here. Knees are just a little bit soft, so we're not locking those knees. Inhale, rise arms up, extended mountain gaze up. Exhale, release arms down. One more. Inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left arm behind you, right arm in front, arms to a T, gaze back. Hips are forward here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Right arm behind you, left arm in front. If that's too intense, you can make that less of a twist if you would like. Inhale, back to center, both arms high. Swan dive down. Create a T with your arms and forward fold. Exhale. Step right foot back, low lunge. Left foot stays at the top. Hands are framing your foot. Or here's a nice option to have the blocks. If you need a little support from those blocks, that might help you sink into the pose a little more. So left knee right over the ankle. Nice stretch through the hip flexor, through that right hip flexor. Nice strength through the left leg. Release your back knee, rise arms up, low crescent lunge. One more breath. Slowly release the hands down, low lunge, back knee lifts up. Step the right foot forward in one step or several steps. Forward fold as you exhale. And now that you've taken a few forward folds, you may be able to straighten the legs just a little bit to find a little more openness or stretch through the back of your hamstrings there. Always relax the head and neck. Come up about halfway and just stop right there. Let your arms be loose. Let them sway a little, being soft like a rag doll. Slowly roll up the rest of the way, taking your time, one vertebrae at a time, until your head rises last. Mountain pose. Doesn't that feel nice? Shake out those arms a little bit. Inhale, rise arms up, chair pose. Sink down into a chair behind you. You choose how low you'd like your chair to be. And your arms can be overhead, shoulder height, or heart center. And as you're in your chair, make sure there's a little more weight over the ankles and heels versus your toes. Your back is neutral, so we're not arching. I'm not overly arching. I'm not overly rounding. I'm finding a neutral spot for my low back. Connect hands to heart center. Exhale, forward fold. Soften down and release. Exhale, left leg steps back, low lunge. Right foot is at the top of your mat. Right knee is bent around 90 degrees. Feel free to use those blocks. Or if you'd like, you can bring your hands to fists. I like to tripod my fingers. I like to have a little bit of that length from my fingertips. Release your back knee, rise arms up, low crescent lunge. Gaze is forward. And release your hands down, low lunge, back knee lifts up. Step your left foot forward, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Create a number 7. Draw your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step both feet back, high plank. So find your high plank here. Nice flat back. We're bringing those wrists under shoulders. Press through your palms and puff up a little bit between shoulder blades. Exhale, downward facing dog. Release knees, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Sink hips to heels. Take a nice couple breaths, connecting to your breath. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts high, 3-limb dog. Exhale, low lunge. Pull that right foot through to the top of your mat. If you need to take a couple steps, that's perfectly fine. Rise up to warrior two. Plant your back foot down as you rotate it. Slowly rise to warrior two, finding that heel arch alignment. So that front heel, draw an imaginary line to the back arch of your foot. Draw the right knee out. Reach forward, bring the right forearm to right thigh, extended side angle, left arm reaches high. Exhale, reverse warrior, left hand to the back of your left leg, right arm lengthens high, gaze up. Back to warrior two, gaze forward. Cartwheel hands down, low lunge. Step your right foot back, high plank. Find that high plank again, using that core strength. One more breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high, 3-limb dog. Exhale, low lunge. Left foot pulls through. Take a couple steps if you need to get that left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale as you rise, warrior two. Plant the back foot down. Rise up, find your heel arch alignment. Draw the left knee back just a little bit. Sometimes it draws in. Reach forward, exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm lengthens high. Exhale, reverse warrior. Right hand to the back of your right leg, left arm high. And back to warrior two. Cartwheel hands down, low lunge. Rotate your back foot. Step your left foot back, high plank. Building a little bit of heat and strength here. Press through palms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of your mat, forward fold. Give your head a little nod. Inhale, halfway lift, draw hands to shins, create that number 7 with your body. Draw arms out to T, rise all the way up. Extended mountain. Release your arms down, give them a little shake. Very good. Coming into our balancing pose for the day, I'm going to face you so we can see a little bit here. Our balancing pose, tree pose. You may wish to come towards a wall so that you have a wall for support. Several options in tree. Bringing the left foot to your right leg. You can have big toe to touch. That will support you in your balance. Or you can bring that foot up to your calf muscle or above the knee. Avoid placing the foot on your knee. And you can draw hands to heart center. Find your breath. Find something to gaze at, a spot on the floor perhaps, not a moving object. Once again, you can choose to have a wall for support, placing a hand on a wall. If you choose that option, every so often be sure to remove the hand from the wall to challenge your balance. You're challenging yourself so that your balance will improve. Couple more breaths. Last breath. And release. Shake it out. Shake those legs, shake those arms. My most favorite, bear swings. Ah, those feel so nice. Breath in, breath out. Other side. So we're going to bring that right foot up. Remember, you can have big toe to touch here for your supported tree. If you choose big toe to touch, same rules apply here. Lift the toe up every so often to challenge your balance, to test it out. And give yourself grace here. Balance can be a finicky thing. The more you practice it, the better it will get. But it takes time. Sometimes it's nice in your tree to grow some branches. You decide here if you'd like to have some branches in your tree. Couple more breaths. And slowly release. Shake out of your tree. Shake it all out. Bear swing. Nice breath. Always feels nice. And then coming down to your mat. Come to lying down. Grab your strap here, your yoga strap or your blanket. And lie down and hug knees in. Once again, you can wiggle your toes a little bit here. Our feet get a little bit neglected. How often do you appreciate your feet? It's just so important to appreciate all of our body parts, and our feet especially. I think sometimes we don't appreciate our feet till there's something wrong with them, and then we realize, oh, I really like it when my feet are happy. So release the left foot down, bring the right foot into your strap, and stretch the leg up. And here, hold on to that strap in a way that's comfortable for your upper body. So we don't want to create tension in the upper body, in the neck, the wrists, the shoulders. So we want everything to be as neutral as possible. Maybe tuck elbows in, that might help. Or sometimes it feels better to reach up, reaching towards the foot. Let your foot relax here, so we're not pressing into that strap. We're letting it release the heel and release the calf muscle. It can be a little intense if you have tight spots. How's your breath? Your breath communicates with you. So if your breath is shallow, it might be too tight or too intense. You might need to lower the leg a little bit. A couple more breaths. And slowly lower the leg down to the right side. Stopping about halfway, decide if that's comfortable. If that's too much of a stretch, just bring the foot up a little bit. If you'd like more of a stretch, you can bring it lower down. I caution you though, don't overstretch here, that inner thigh, or you risk pulling the knee out of alignment. And bring your right leg back to center. Lower the left leg down onto the mat. Cross the right leg over to the left side. So it's kind of crossing over your body here. And reposition that strap so you feel you can comfortably hold it without creating that tension in the upper body. Enjoy this stretch on that outer IT band of that right leg. A little bit into that right hip. Yoga is a wonderful way to highlight areas that we have that might be tense or weak or imbalanced. So just tune in and notice your body here. How often do you tune in and notice your body on a daily basis? And bring your right leg back to center. Release the strap, figure four pose. Bring the right foot to your left thigh. And that left foot can stay planted on the mat here. Press the right knee away from you for a nice stretch. Or thread your hands behind your left leg and hug in towards your torso. Nice stretch through that right glute, the piriformis muscle, which if that's tight at all, that can aggravate your sciatic nerve. So that's a nice release here to give a little stretch of that group of muscles. One more breath. And then cross and slowly hug knees in. Switching sides, plant the right foot onto your mat. Left foot stretches high with that strap attached. Choosing here what's going to be comfortable for holding your strap. Also choosing the height of your leg that's the most comfortable. This should be a comfortable stretch in the hamstrings. Might be a little tight. Maybe take a few breaths holding for a while before you decide if you'd like to go a little deeper into that stretch. I have a saying, you go right to your edge, not beyond it. So we all have that edge. Honor your edge. Then slowly release down towards the left side, stopping about halfway. Decide if that's comfortable or if you'd like to go a little farther. And come back to center, lower the right leg onto the mat. Cross the left leg over to the right side, so across your body. Notice here which leg felt tighter or more resistant. And bring that left leg back to center. Figure 4, right foot plants into the mat, left ankle over your right thigh. You can choose here, once again, to press that left leg away from you, or thread hands behind the right leg and hug in. And here you still have access with your elbow if you'd like to press the elbow into your left leg. If you're taking the advanced or variation here that's a little deeper, you can still choose to press that leg away from you. Connect to your breath. Each pose, maintain a steady breathing pattern. That's how we open space. That's how we maintain calm. That's how we stay in the present moment. And hug both knees in. Good. Then release your feet down with your knees bent. Draw your arms to cactus arms. So elbows are shaped kind of like a goalpost here. Gaze is up. I like to tripod my knees together in this pose. Drawing my feet wide. You can try that. Just see what feels comfortable. This is a wonderful stretch, opening the chest and shoulders. If you do any amount of sitting, whether it's watching TV or driving in a car or at a computer, those shoulders round forward. So let's draw them back. Nice full breaths. Good. Then bring your arms to T position, palms down. Bring your feet together. If you like a gentle spinal twist, have your feet farther away. So you place them farther away. A deeper spinal twist, feet together. Inhale first, exhale, legs release to the left. Gaze up or to the right. If this is still a little bit uncomfortable, bring those legs farther away from your torso, less bent. Inhale, legs to center. Exhale, release to the right. My blocks are in the way. Move your blocks. And back to center. Draw knees in. And release down. Final surrender. Most of our favorite pose, right? Just resting in final surrender. So you can have legs stretched out or you can have legs bent. It's up to you. You can have a blanket if you like to be a little more warm. And just close your eyes. Begin to settle into your mat, settling into your breathing pattern that is slow and calm and steady, similar to a pattern of an ocean wave. I will chime a bell when Shavasana time is up, so give yourself this gift of being unplugged from everything, letting your breath draw you into the present moment. Allow all the muscles in your face to relax. Your forehead opens, your eyebrows and eyelids are soft, your nostrils release, and your mouth and jaw neutral. Shoulders sink down as both arms filled with warmth traveling to your hands, to the tips of your fingers. Torso and your hips release down as both legs filled with heaviness, moving to your feet, to the tips of your toes. Your mind, your body, your spirit completely relaxed and at peace. Final surrender, Shavasana. Take a few deep breaths, bringing some movement back in. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Make your way to your right side. And slowly begin to rise up to a comfortable seated position. And thank you so much. It was my honor to guide you through your yoga practice today. The tradition is to end with the phrase Namaste, which means a teacher in me honors a teacher in you. Namaste, and be well.